All right. Welcome to my home gym tour. So I'm just going to start from here. I'll get into this when we get to the mini split. I'm going to start over here and just like work my way around and talk about every single piece. So to start here, I have two benches. So I have this flat bench. This is just like a Rogue flat bench. And then I also have like the Rogue, I don't know, like their nicest incline bench. Um, I feel like it's pretty good quality, both of these. I will say with the Rogue, with like the incline bench, it's a little bit like overbuilt. I don't know, like it was like $600, and I haven't even done any kind of incline training in a while. My wife does a little bit, so I don't really know if it was worth, at least for me personally, like spending $600 for it. But oh well, it is what it is. As far as the flat bench goes, I use this primarily for benching. I don't bring it over here usually. Usually it's over here. I bring the flat bench. I did have one issue with Rogue, and the issue was like the pad was like bent during shipping or something, and so I thought that it was just the pad. So Rogue sent me a separate pad, and then when I got it, I realized that it was the attachment. So it's like because this pad attaches right here, um, or right here, and it was actually both of them. So anyway, so Rogue just sent me this whole brand new piece. So now I have this other pad. I don't really know what to do with it, but I just sold the other piece for like $100 or whatever, just because it was like crooked and stuff. But anyways, they're pretty good. They do what I need them to. Yeah, and then the flooring is all horse stall mats. I know like some people are a lot cleaner with their horse stall mats, and what they'll do is they'll have like tape and stuff. It doesn't really bother me like kicking them back in. The only two that ever get misplaced are like this one and this one. And I'm really over here. I just do, like random dumbbell stuff over here anyways. Okay, so here's the tripod. I'll use the tripod here and there. I do powerlifting training. And so I really just like put my phone on this, record myself doing my sets, send the set to my coach, and then my coach evaluates whatever I do. These cement blocks. So I got these because, well, what's underneath on my platform, this is an 8x8 Olympic lifting platform. I have this plywood here. When I originally stained it, I put it on top of these center blocks. Now I will say, somewhere over here, I accidentally like spilled all like the polyurethane over here. So be really careful when you stain your plywood to not accidentally spill your polyurethane. So I keep the center blocks. They are definitely cracking and stuff, as you can see, but I use them for belt squats. So I do belt squats with a landmine. So if you want to, I'll post something like doing landmine belt squats eventually. But yeah, I just use the center blocks for those to help prop my feet up a little bit more. Okay, over here, so we have a mirror. This is just like a mirror from like Home Depot, like 36 by 48. I put it super high because when we built this house, and down here, there's like some electrical, and the stud finder kept like finding the electrical, and I had pictures of the studs before they did the drywall, and I just got really nervous. I put it up really high. So it's funny. My wife sent me a picture, and in the picture, you can like she can't even see herself when she was like doing incline work. But you know what? All I need to be able to see myself is do like dumbbell curls and stuff, which is great. Okay, so now over here we have the dumbbells. So why do we have all these other dumbbells? Well, we bought these dumbbells for my wife when we lived in an apartment, and she just did like dumbbell stuff in the apartment. Because when we first had our daughter, she didn't want to go to a gym. She just wanted to like work out in the morning. Yeah, and then we have new bells. So these are the 5 to 80 pound set. So the new bells are great if you're weaker than 80 pounds and you don't care, or like you don't care about not being able to drop them. So it's like really frustrating. Every time I go up to 80 pounds, I'm just like tapped out, and I'm always nervous that I'm going to drop them. And yeah. But like I said, they are nice. They are really fast. So what you do is like if you want to go to 5 to 80, you can just spin it on over, and now you have 80 pounds. And that's great. So it works fine. up into a point where now, like, you mean flat dumbbell pressing like over 80 pounds is like not that hard. So now I'm kind of limited to that. So we are planning on buying the Pepin like fast series up to 120 pounds, but these were only like $750, $800. But the Pepin ones are like $2,000 shipped to my door. So far we've only seen like Basement Brandon's, Brandon Campbell's review on them. So we're kind of waiting. Like we'd like to see like Garage Gym review them. I know he's getting a pair. Coop's getting a pair. So I just want to wait until Coop gets it, because I don't, it's $2,000. So I just want to make sure that it's like the right decision. Also too, my wife is kind of like, well, like Coop will say a lot. It's like buy nice or cry twice or something. Yeah. So basically it's just like, we want to buy the right pair. We're spending $2,000. So I just want to have like another point of view on that. Okay. So over here. So speaking of buy nice or don't cry twice or whatever, is the Bells of Steel cable, or like single cable tower. So this has been great for, especially for training. So like introducing accessories and everything into my training. So like I said, I do powerlifting. So I guess I could just do a lot of like barbell movements, but I am able to do a lot of stuff with this. So I can do lat pull downs. I do like iliac pull-ins, sternal press arounds. I do cable flies, just single cable flies, lateral raises, face pulls, tricep push down, everything. So you may notice here, which is funny, is like we have a cable here, or like pulleys here, or not pulleys, carabiners here, carabiner here, carabiner here. So if you find yourself and you realize like, so this connecting to this is going to be twisted, right? So all you do is you just put another carabiner on it. And then once you put the other carabiner on it, then it's like the right way. So I almost went and bought like a lot more expensive carabiner that can swivel, but you don't have to do that. Yeah, you could just put another carabiner on it. And then what I like to do too now is like, these are kind of a pain. You can see the scuffs here. These are kind of a pain to get off of this. So now I'd like to have like a dedicated carabiners for like all of my equipment. So when I get over to my wall control, I'll show you that. So yeah, so this piece, like I was saying, so when I initially bought it, I bought the, I bought it with the, like this upright post that's supposed to give like extra stability. And I didn't have aluminum pulleys. Now, if I could go back, this extra post is completely worthless. And I would have just got the aluminum pulleys to start with, because it doesn't make any sense to do non-aluminum pulleys. And get this, because this is supposed to give extra stability. So this is supposed to be wall mounted, which I did mount it to my wall. But the thing is, if you get this post, you can only mount it in one location. You can't mount it at the bottom. So when I was like doing face pulls, this thing like freaking moved to the left or right. And the reason is like where it gets mounted, this is not welded on. So I think if this was welded, then maybe it would be fine, but it's not. And so I had to bolt this into my slab, which I didn't really want to do, but I just did it anyways. So these are like Tapcon screws. I rented like a hammer drill from Home Depot and just drilled it in. So yeah, that was fine. I'll show real quick, just like doing some tricep stuff on this. So like I was saying, like why am I saying like buy nice or whatever, crying about this, is that it is a pain in the ass, like moving the plates, or like having to, like I take all my plates, I put them over there, and then I'm like shuffling them around and everything. It's such a pain. So if I could have done it again, I don't know. I think I would have gotten like the weight stack. That would have run it like an extra $600 or $700. But it's really a pain putting the weights back like on and off again. So it's kind of annoying. But yeah, so here is just doing like some basic tricep push downs. So it moves really smoothly. No complaints there. So that's great. Yeah. And then one thing I'll say, I got this so the guy, I don't remember his last name, but Matt, cheatdaydesign.com. He has like a home gym, and it's primarily Bells of Steel content. He has a really thorough review, so I would check that out. So if you look up like cheatdaydesign.com, you'll find it, whatever. I don't remember what his last name is, but so one of the things he pointed out with this is like it goes down relatively smoothly, which yeah, it does. But then he said like, oh, when you bring it up, it doesn't go up smoothly, which you're right, it doesn't. But if you put your hand right here, if you can even see it in the camera, then it moves up a lot smoother. So yeah, overall, a great piece of equipment. I'm glad I got it. It really helps with training, like in order to have a bunch of variety in my powerlifting training. Let me do this so I know that you can see me. I don't even know if I'm like centered. But anyways, previously I had a Rogue Slinger, and the Rogue Slinger, it was like the pulley or the plate loaded one. The thing is that was a pain to get on and off. That's one thing where I'm kind of like, I don't know about like the surplus strength universal pulley system, because it's like that the plate loading mechanism is kind of like, I only have calibrated plates. I do have some bumpers and I'll talk about those, but I only have calibrated plates and those are really hard to like pull on and off. So anyways, so I had the Slinger. You could only do like movements from like the top of the rack. You can't bring it up and down. And the cable, like when it was in the unit or whatever, or like in the rack, it got shredded. So then I had to, before I sold it, I like bought a custom length cable from Surplus Strength, which like took the place of the Slinger. So, or like the Slinger's original cable. Sold it. I lost $25 on it, and then a week later, I saw like the next guy who bought it wanted to replace it, or like now he's selling it. I was gonna do like the Buffalo glider, which looks like really cool, or Buffalo bully glider, or whatever, but I don't know. I didn't really see like a point. Like I feel like the Bells of Steel cable tower is like a pretty good move if you're looking for like a cheap option. But yeah. Okay, so now coming over here, I'm going to talk about, finish the conversation about flooring. So here I have this 8x8 Olympic lifting platform. I don't do any Olympic lifting, but I guess because it's 8x8, it's therefore Olympic lifting. And then also too, what I want to point out here is I have these horse stall mats, right? So 3/4 inch, let me finish the horse stall mat thing. So I bought the horse stall mats. I bought like 11 of them, 4 feet by 6 feet, 3/4 inch. I had my buddy help me. They were $50 each. We went to Tractor Supply. It was $50 or $60 each. And I laid them out on my garage, or not my garage. I laid them out on my driveway in the hot Texas heat in September of last year. And I laid them out there for a week because they reeked. And I was so nervous. Like I could smell them inside. And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be horrible. But now I don't smell them at all. So if you buy them, lay them out in the heat for a while, and I think you'll be fine. So I have one layer here, but if you notice here, I have 2 layers. So I think his name is like Austin from Barbell Medicine. He like deadlifts like 700 pounds, which that would be like a lifetime goal of mine. But I saw him and he had 2 layers of horse stall mats. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's genius. So, I just built this house. I don't want to crack my concrete slab. So I was like, well, let's just add an extra layer of protection. So the platform is laying on 2 horse stall mats instead of only 1. And then we have the OSB board, 2 layers, and then the horse stall mat right here. And then in the middle, you have the plywood. Now, why do I have carpet here? So the carpet is actually, so if you've ever been so I live in Round Rock, Texas, a suburb of Austin, Texas. And whenever I go to a gym, I go to Game Day Barbell. And Game Day has like, I don't know, like 12 Eleiko like combo racks, and they have a bunch of platforms. And so I was like, well, what carpet do you use? And like, well, we use this like Viking Stingray carpet from Home Depot. So I was like, okay. So then I went and bought the exact same carpet. And then at my recent USAPL powerlifting meet in January, they used the exact same carpet. So it's pretty cool. It's only like $80. Just got like a 12x8 like cut, and then I just cut it off over here. And so I'm using like the exact same carpet that I would use like at a meet, which is great. The one thing I would recommend if you build a platform and you don't want the carpet is so this is something is that like when you put the horse stall mat, like put the flat side of the horse stall mat against your plywood. Don't put like the one you cut, because there's like crap will get in here. And now crap doesn't get in here because I have carpet over it. Okay, now coming over here. So this is the rack, the Rogue. It's an RM3, so the 3 I believe is like 36. So 3 is the length between like in feet, so 36 inches, 3 feet in between like here and here. This is great. The one thing I will say is if you have 2 people squatting like over 135, you can't like both like if you take the bar off right here and you step back, you're gonna hit the racked weight right here. So that's kind of annoying, like if you have friends over with squatting. So I don't know. I think long term, I'm going to ditch the bells of steel tower and then just get a Rep Aries 4-post and just put it right here. And then if people were over here, then they could just use, they could just squat out of that, because you can attach like safety spotter arms to it and everything. Yeah, so I got the rack. I bought these pegs. So I have, for convenience, I have like the change plates just all right here, and then my 10 kilograms right here. This is like half a kilogram. I like never use these, but they're just here if I need them. And then I usually have my 15 kilogram ones right here, but I just wanted to show like a demo of using the tower, so that's why I put them on already. What I will say is the change plates is kind of annoying, only having one post. So eventually I'm going to buy like the straight dog strength 3-post weight change storage, but that's like $85. So I don't know when I'll get it, but I'll get it eventually. If anybody knows of like a cheaper 3-plate one, then let me know and I will just buy that. And then I just have like the standard pin pipe, I think it's what they're called, safeties, which these work fine. I have the rollers. I don't know if I mentioned those. So one thing you'll see, I've like hit this all off. So these are great because it's kind of like similar to a combo rack. You can like roll them when you have the bar on there. What I will say is if you notice here, like there's this huge like thing that comes out. So I think you're supposed to have these on the other side. But what I noticed when I had them on the other side, I'd always smack this with the barbell. So now I moved them in, and I like never smack in it with the barbell like at all. So life hack: if you have the gross rollers and you keep hitting this, then switch them to the other side. And then up there, I have like my other like J cups, which I like never use ever. So yeah, but I have them there. And then it has like, I just have like the pull-up bar. I don't really do pull-ups in my training, but I have it. Okay, and then the one thing I would like to call out is that for a while this was not mounted or like bolted, the platform. So it would just like move back and forth. But it was like the day when I got my carpet, I was like, okay, I need to get this bolted because it's going to slip and slide on the carpet. So what I did was I found some random video online of somebody bolting like a bells of steel rack, and they bolted it into their platform. So I was like, hell yeah, I'm just gonna do that too. So I just like pre-drilled the holes and then just like drilled in the holes into the platform, and it doesn't shake at all. So let me show that. Like you can do dips. So I woke up at like 2:13 this morning. So I'm gonna show you swinging around on it, and it's really stable. Yeah, so I'm pretty confident, when I'm doing things that it's not going to, like topple over anything. So I've had it where like, I've had over 400 pounds loaded right here on the bar and nothing right there, and it doesn't budge at all. It's really stable. Okay, I think I'm done with the rack. Next up is this thing. So there's that Rogue bench. I don't know what I'll ever do with it. Hot water heater has nothing to do with the gym. Let me talk about this. So I got a mini split in the past week. So this has been incredible already. So it's 70 degrees. It's set to 70 degrees. And I have this like temperature thing, and it's 68.5 in here. And outside, I mean, it's not super hot. It's 78 degrees. So, but the garage is always a lot hotter. So we were coming from downtown. It was like, hey, I wanted to record the video today. So I told my wife, hey, grab my phone and use the smart device to put the garage at 68. So we put it at 68, and then in 20 minutes it went down like 11 degrees, which is great. So as far as insulation goes, I'm in Texas. It's only March, so we'll see how it goes. But I got the Owens Corning insulation kit. I did like 2 single doors. I opted to not do the windows because it's really depressing to not have light come in. And also too, it helps with the lighting for like recording videos or whatever. So I just did those because the guy who installed it said it'd be fine. So we'll see who installed the mini split. So I got the insulation, just did it myself. It's kind of how I did it, like with the tape. I still have some extra kits though from like the window ones. So if that ends up bugging us more, like how it's like not aligned, then I can just go and fix it. And then so one thing I will say is for the longest time I was like, oh, I'm just gonna do like the Mr. Cool DIY mini split. And I didn't do that because well, I was going to do it for a long time, and then one thing they don't really talk about is the electrical. So if you see here, we have our breaker box, and then up there, the guy who installed it and put electrical line did this conduit all throughout the garage, which is fine. I feel like it looks great. But the issue is like the Mr. Cool, they're kind of like, oh yeah, you can just do it. So don't be an idiot and like just buy the unit thinking you can just do it. You have to you have to make sure you have the electrical planned out. So yeah, so that's it for the mini split. Oh, and then what I'll say is that all the walls are insulated. That wall's insulated. That garage is kind of insulated, except for this wall. This wall is not insulated. So we'll see how it goes once it gets to 100 degrees. You know, I'm in Round Rock, Texas. You know, 100-degree summer daily thing is not out of the ordinary. So once that gets going, we'll see how it goes. I specifically got an 18,000 K BTU unit, which is overpowered. Even the guy putting it in was like, you should just get the 12,000. I think it will be fine. And I said, no, it's only a couple $100 extra. So I'm just gonna get the 18,000. So I wanted to get overpowered. As far as electricity bill goes, I don't really know what happened. He was like, oh yeah, it's just like running your microwave. It like costs the same as like your microwave. I'm like, okay, well, how much would it cost to run your microwave for 2 hours a day for, you know, a long time? And I don't know. So we'll see how much the cost is. I'm fine if it's an extra $20, $30 a month, as long as I'm lifting comfortable. I'm able to get it down to like 63 degrees when it's like 80 outside. So I'm kind of hoping I'll be able to at least comfortable between 70 and 75 when it's like 100 out, which is fine for me. I have big goals, you know, so I want to be comfortable while I'm lifting. Oh, and then last thing I will say is all these full service HVAC companies, they wanted to charge, or like they were charging more, and I was like, well, what's the unit you're gonna put in? They'd put in like some cheaper unit, and there is a federal tax credit as part of like the Inflation Reduction Act. There's a federal tax credit where you can get in form of tax credits, get reimbursed 30% of the project, up to $2,000. So I spent $3,500 all in for the unit plus installation. And I also heard that you can also include the insulation in that cost, because I like insulated the door. Is that you can, so yeah, so as long as you get like so good of a unit, because it's like the heat pump. So anyway, so it was 3,500, take off 30%, so that's like, it'll be like 2,600 or something. I should be able to get in the form of a tax credit. Of course, budgeting wise, I'm not going to get that tax credit until I file my taxes, 2023's taxes in 2024. So I wouldn't like count on getting that, you know, earlier than later or whatever. But anyways, that's what that is. Okay. So now we'll come over here. So here I have the Bells of Steel plate tree. So I was going to get the Rogue one, but Rogue does not have the barbell holders, which the barbell holders are really nice. So I got this one. It also has wheels, which the wheels, to be honest, like really suck, but that's okay. I don't really need to push this thing around. You may notice I have the clips on here. So I am a father. My daughter is turning 2. And so like these are like, even some adults can't even get these off. So, you know, I'm very mindful. Anything that my daughter can grab, it's clipped. So every time I finish the gym, everything gets clipped. So I always clip these. And yeah, here's Rogue clips. So what I'll say is like, I bought these, don't do this. This was a waste of money. I bought these on Amazon because I was like, oh yeah, she could just, you know, we'll just clip them with this. These are trash. I don't know why we still even have them. Okay, so as far as my plates go, I have these, I have a full set of calibrated plates. So I have 4 sets of reds. These are all Ghost calibrated plates, which here I'll show the blues because the reds are both in. I got the Ghost for reds and blues because Rogue didn't have any blues or reds available when I built my gym, and a little bit cheaper. So I was like, whatever, I'll just get them. So I got those. And then I have 1 set of red bumpers, green bumpers, and black bumpers. I got the bumpers. I don't ever really use the green or the black, but I use the red whenever I do deadlifts. The innermost plate on each side is always a red 55, because a red 55 plus this clip ends up being roughly 25 kilos. I do not it's just like extra protection against my slab. Also too is sound. Like I said, I have a daughter who's actually sleeping above me right now. And, every Saturday, generally, I lift when she is napping. And so yesterday I did like a set of 2, it was like 420 pounds or something. On deadlifts, she didn't even flinch. Maybe she's just a deep sleeper. I don't know. But anyways, so yeah, that's the plate tree. I actually really like this. I feel like it's great. I have a couple pound plates, like cheap pound plates I bought for my wife because she's more into pounds. And then she can, when she needs to, she can use like the 10 bumpers and 25 bumpers. So as far as pound plates go, I think it's like up to 240 pounds. As far as kilograms, I don't know. All in, I have like 800 pounds worth of plates. So yeah, I'll be pretty set on plates. As far as barbells go, so I have the Rogue, the Rogue Ohio Power Bar. So this is a stainless steel bar. It's 20 kilograms. What I will say is I do have one issue, if you can even see it, but it's kind of like chipping at the top, like at the sleeves. And I'm pretty sure that's like not supposed to happen. So I think I just need to reach out to Rogue. I don't know, maybe I need to like oil it or something. I don't know, but I've never seen any problems with any other bars like that. So I think they just need to send me a new one. I'm not sure. But otherwise, it's been perfect. I really like it. This is like a French Port barbell. It's like the Olympic lifting barbell, like bushing or whatever. French Port is actually local to me, but I use this as like a beater barbell essentially. So I forgot to mention I have a landmine, but I have a landmine and I'll like put it into the landmine. One of the things too is so a lot of times when I have belt squats right after bench. So my bar will be set up with weights for bench. And then in between sets, I'm like, well, let me set up for an exercise. So I'll just pull the French Port barbell off, put it into landmine, get the setup and everything. So I have to get the cinder blocks and everything. So yeah, that's when I use that. Also too, if I do like pin press, because it's like smacking against the safeties, I'd rather just use this rather than the French Port or the Ohio Power Bar. Okay, over here. So we have a deadlift jack. This is just a nice thing to have. This is a Titan one. I would not waste your money on the Rogue one. This is perfect. It was like 120 bucks. I don't know. It works great. Here is the dip bar I have. What I will say is this thing is such a pain in the ass on and off. So the surplus strength, like quick change pins, whatever, on my list. I just need to get them eventually. Yeah, and then here we have the accessories. Like I said earlier, I have like dedicated carabiners to each one. This, it's kind of like sus, but I put this at like the bottom of the cable tower, and then that's like holds my legs in when I do lat pull downs. This you attach to your bar sleeve, and it will and you can attach like your belt to it, so you can do like landmine squats or not, yeah, landmine belt squats. This is just like random thing I use for like iliac pull-ins and stuff. I usually use the wrist straps with these, and because it sucks, so I'll probably get like a more knurled grip later. We just have some random bands that I bought because it was free shipping. And then I have an SBD belt. So this is great. I love this belt. I have my SBD wrist straps, which is great. Love these wrist straps. Blue SBD large knee sleeves. I love these. This foam roller is just in here. I don't know why it is. This is like for hip thrust, like a pad for hip thrusting. So yeah, that is it. Thank you for coming to my gym tour. All in, I'd have to check my notes, but all in right now, it's like I'm like between $13,000 and $14,000, which is crazy how it's added up to all of that. Let me make sure that the camera's even looking at me. Yeah. Okay. So all in, it's like $13,000, $14,000. Would I do it again? Hell yeah. It's great, especially as a father. I'm able to lift when that works for me and for my family. I feel very fortunate that I'm in a situation I'm able to buy all this equipment and continue buying all this equipment. As far as next sets go for the gym, like I said, cable tower, eventually replace that with an Aries, and then maybe get an actual dedicated combo rack. What I will say is, this is a one-car garage gym. We do park, we have a Toyota Highlander that we park on the other side of the gym. I pull it out just to have more space, just because it feels cramped, but you don't necessarily have to pull it out. So next steps would be probably replace the pulley tower with an Aries, and then maybe get a dedicated combo rack and then sell the RM3. I don't know. And yeah, because like with the areas, you can do everything you need to. I don't really necessarily need to fill out the full space. I don't really feel a need either to buy like like actual dedicated dumbbells because the Pepins go up to 120. So if they go up to 120, why do I need other dumbbells, right? It's because it's 20 to 120 pounds. Um, yeah, and then I'd like to get like the Bulletproof Fitness leg curl machine. And then I just have random things. There's always things in the list like the speed pins I mentioned. I'd like to maybe get a TV in here eventually. Like just have Sports Center playing. And then also too, the one thing that's annoying with my bench is that it kind of moves, right? Like when you apply a lot of leg drive. So I'd like to get like one of those things. Actually, Brandon Campbell helped design it. It was like it's like a bench prop that you can like put your bench on, so that you can like apply more leg drive and push your back into it, right? So then that would go there, and I think I need mini feet if I got that as well. And then like a hip thrust pad would be nice. So anyways, there's always like never ending list of things to buy and build and everything. So yeah, if you made it this far, I really appreciate you watching it. Just kind of keep this casual, not necessarily, trying to make a living or anything off of this, but it's just a fun, the home gym community seems really fun. A lot of people seem like they're really supportive and everything. I know the powerlifting community is great. The game day crew, everyone's really supportive and everything. So it's fun to, post my lifts and then share like random home gym content as I add new stuff. I also really like recording time lapses. So it's fun, like recording the time lapses and sharing those and everything. And I have big goals, powerlifting, lifetime goal would be to qualify for nationals. For the 100 kilogram weight class in the USAPL weight federation. So it'd be cool, to share that. And as I go through I'm about to go into another meet prep where I'm going to compete in mid-July. So I think it'll be fun, sharing that stuff. So primarily just gonna be like Instagram, random stuff, kind of low key, not necessarily, trying to go really big or anything, but it's just fun, just to share random training content. So thanks.